Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. This is Ask the Experts here on Talk Radio 1190, where we interview local prominent professionals here in the beautiful Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex on what? Their area of expertise, of course. I'm the host of the show, Matt Cather, and joining me on today's show, it's great to have him back. It's Josh Carnes of Lions Business Brokers. Before we get to Josh, you can find him online at lionsbusinessbrokers.com. That's lionsbusinessbrokers.com. The phone number is 512-537-3547. That's 512-537-3547. Josh, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, Matt. Good to be back.
It's great to talk to you. I know it's been a while, but I'm excited to talk to you today. How's everything been?
Doing good. Apparently, y'all are some Texas Tech fans, so
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But hey, I know we got a ton of questions and a lot of stuff to get into on the show today. But before we do that, I kind of want to kick it over to you. Since it's been a little bit since we have you on, why don't you just explain what you do and what your business is all about before we kick things off?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we do at its simplest point is we strategically and confidentially help people sell their businesses. So think real estate for business, if you will, where you help owners looking to exit, retire, cash out, whatever the reason it might be. We find qualified buyers, and we have a great book of qualified buyers that are actively looking for businesses. So.
Fantastic. Well, let's not waste any time, my friend. I know we got a lot of information to cover today. So to kick things off, let's talk about people would get the questions in. What is this month's featured listing? What is that all about?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that we wanted to try to do is highlight some featured listings and show the listeners a little bit about what we do, but show the types of businesses that we list. So I thought it would be fun to do a monthly featured listing. And so this month, I wanted to feature a listing that is being listed by Travis Strack, who is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Don't let the 512 number throw you off. We're all over Texas.
Yep.
And so Travis Strack is another one of our M&A advisors up there in Fort Worth. And so he has a listing right now, and it's an electrical service business in DFW. This thing is cash flowing, I think, just around $300,000 a year. And they're offering it out of steel. So it's a great business, absentee owner, and they're looking to get out and invest their funds in some other opportunities. And so it's a great business for someone who is just looking for something that makes cash.
Fantastic.
And that's what we do is we help these people transition out and exit out for the right person. So.
All right. Well, to kind of build off that, you do the feature itself, but what about what's hot right now in general?
Yeah. So right now, what's hot coming into 2022, is really anything blue collar, if you will. So industries that are hot, HVAC, consulting, daycare businesses right now are really, really hot. So any early learning centers, child learning centers, daycare, anything like that. We actually just facilitated a transaction, had a successful sale of a daycare in between Austin and DFW markets that went for right under a 5 times multiple, which is a 5 times on their earnings or cash flow, which is actually higher than the industry standard, which is happening a lot right now in this industry. So,
and speaking of industries, what industries are going to be getting a premium this year, I guess you could say, or in 2021, and then I guess an overview of that. 2022. Yeah, what am I doing?
Yeah. I threw you off there.
It's all good. That's my fault. We're still getting used to the new year. I feel like 2021 flew by, right?
Yeah. So 2022 is a really interesting year for business sales. There is just a lot of unique things that are happening, coming down the pie, however you want to say it. And so before I even hit on the hot industries, I just want to throw out there that sales for last year coming into 2022 were up over 38% in an industry that's not normally like that. So this industry is normally kind of overloaded in a buyer's market, if you will. And last year, coming out of COVID and drastically transitioning into 2022, it has turned into a seller's market. And so generally speaking, I could come on and say, hey, here's 2 or 3 industries that are super going to be hot moving into next year. A couple big ones are going to be manufacturing and distribution of any sort. But the reality is anything making cash right now or anything that made cash during COVID or stayed open or that was considered essential is going for an absolute premium right now. And daycare is a great example of that. The industry multiples for that are, 3 to 4%. And we just had one sell that slightly less than a 5 times earnings on their multiples. So,
well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, of course, guys, if you didn't hear the beginning of the show, I hope not, because you're missing out on a lot of great information to kick things off. But we're talking with Josh Carnes of Lions Business Brokers. You can find them online at lionbusinessbrokers.com. That's lionbusinessbrokers.com. The phone number is 512-537-3547. That's 512-537-3547. And remember, folks, they're all over Texas. So if you need to reach out to them, you can find them about anywhere over the state of Texas for sure. And the one really question I wanted to get to, Josh, an important one in itself, I know people are out there listening in regards to this and they're thinking, well, how do I value my business? Tell them a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And for us as a business brokerage and honestly for the industry, that's where it starts, right? If you want to sell your business, you want to know how much you're going to get for it, right? And so first and foremost, I like to let everyone know we offer free business valuations at the office. So if you want to call in or go to the website and check it out, you can get a free valuation from our office that will tell you, hey, here's where we think you should list and here's where you think you should go for on the market today. And we say that because everybody's industry ranges. Some industries are, a 2 to 3 times multiple. Some industries are a 3 to 5. Some industries in manufacturing, like electrical manufacturing right now, is up to an 8 times multiple of their cash flow. But I can give you the quick and dirty, if you will. The quick and dirty is basically you look at your profit and loss statement, you look at your profits, so your earnings for your last year, and honestly, Q1 is a great time to do it. Everyone's getting their financials together for tax season and all of that. So
absolutely, yeah.
A quick and dirty method is to look at your earnings from last year plus any owner's salary or compensation. That's going to equal your SDE, which we call in the industry seller's discretionary earnings, right? So potential cash flow to a new owner. You multiply that times 3, you add in any inventory or assets or real estate, and you essentially have a rough idea of what your business could go for on the market today. Any business that's making money can go for around a 3 times multiple of its cash flow.
Now, we got to, I'm going to save the next question because I think it's a really big, important one and kind of something that would be great to kick things off. So I tell you what, Josh, we're going to take a quick break. We'll take a quick break here on Ask the Experts. And when we come back, we got some really good, juicy information to get to, a lot to catch up with him. So a quick 1-minute break, and y'all don't want to miss out. We'll be right back with Josh Carnes of Lion Business Brokers on the other side of things here on Talk Radio 1190. This is Ask the Experts, folks.
Lion Business Brokers work every day to help their clients successfully sell their business. They don't just list businesses, they represent them. With confidentiality in mind, they market your business to qualified buyers. They're a Texas-based business broker. Lion Business Brokers serves communities throughout the greater Dallas and Fort Worth area. Lion Business Brokers understands that you have a choice when it comes to business brokers, but you only have one choice when it comes to quality representation on the sale of your business. Owners who are looking to sell their business engage Lion Business Broker Services because they're trusted mergers and acquisitions specialists. If you're looking to sell your business, their business listing services benefit you by taking the hard work out of listing, advertising, and qualifying potential buyers. Having the Lion Business Broker team represent you gives you access to a team that specializes in marketing business in a way that will appeal to a larger base of qualified buyers. Contact Lion Business Brokers for more information at 512-537-3547.
Welcome back to the show. This is Ask the Experts here on Talk Radio 1190. We interview local prominent professionals here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area on their area of expertise, of course. We're talking with Josh Carnes of Lions Business Brokers today. Great to have him back on the show. It's been a while, but it's great to talk to him today. Before we get back to him, though, it's 512-537-3547. It's 512-537-3547. And, of course, their website, you can find them at lionbusinessbrokers.com. That's lionbusinessbrokers.com. Now, let's pick up where we left off, Josh, and I really wanted to get to this. That's why we kind of saved it for, because it's a long answer but important one. What should buyers look at, or look for, I should say, besides profits? That's a kind of a long question answer-wise, but that's why we wanted to touch it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's a big one when I say, to kind of go back to how do you value your business, right? So a quick and dirty method is to say, hey, some sort of multiple of cash flow. But, a lot of times you'll hear me saying, 2 to 5, right? And so value drivers are what are going to differentiate the businesses being worth 2 times multiple on their cash flow and a 5 times multiple of their cash flow, right? And value drivers are just that, what buyers are looking for outside of profits, outside of cash flow. And so one of the big things should be on the website Monday. We'll have publishes a free white article that really just breaks these value drivers down and kind of goes a little bit more into detail. But here are kind of the top 7, if you will, value drivers. And, the first one can be kind of comical, right? But is it interesting or an attractive business?
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, that's important.
Is your business interesting? Yeah. And so, a couple years ago, I had a business for sale, and it was super, super unique. And they essentially installed draft beer systems, right?
Okay.
They installed draft beer systems. And so guess what? That's an interesting business, right? Especially here in Texas, custom high-end quality beers is something super, super hot, right? And so is your industry hot? Is it niche? Is it fun? The more fun your industry is, the more attractive it's going to be for a potential buyer, right? One of the next thing is do you have a strong market position? Are you cornering the market in your industry? Do you have a niche within your industry that you're carving out and is saying that it's yours, that is going to be able to take over, or that is going to be attractive to someone else? The other thing, it's another funny one is it's a lot like real estate, right? Location, location, location.
No
Is
doubt.
your business in the right location to serve its market, right? Is your business relocatable? Can it be moved? Things like that. And those are going to be different to different buyers, but, is your business downtown, serving a downtown market? Or are you doing a manufacturing business and you're out in the middle of nowhere? That's actually going to be a good quality for manufacturing businesses, not going to be a great quality for a service-based business, right? And so did you choose a great location for your business? Can you do that? We're actually working with another business right now that is a tow truck operator who, prior to seeking us, completely moved his facility to a more strategic location, and it probably took the asking price from his business from a 4X to a 5X just by moving locations.
I think that's something that's really overlooked. Location is everything.
It is, and it's extremely overlooked in business because a lot of times people don't think that, and some businesses, right, work from home, especially right now.
Correct.
So is that location going to be desirable? Do you have working operating systems and a process in place? This one is probably big for me. I'm an ex-business process officer, so process is a big thing for me. But do you have working operating systems in place, or are you taking down appointments on a giant calendar? Believe it or not, and please don't get mad at me if this is still you. If you're taking down appointments for your service-based business and you're writing them on the big 3-foot, 5-foot calendar on your desktop, it's time to upgrade.
Yeah.
And we have actually met with and successfully sold businesses that are doing that. But do you have a good working operating system? Do you have a process in place that can take care of that type of stuff? The next one is proven stability, right? So are you a new business that's only been around for a couple years? It's going to be pretty hard to sell. You're not going to get a premium. Buyers are going to say, hey, is it there? Or do you have a business that's been open for 20 years and you've got continual growth? You can show growth coming out of COVID, all of those type of things. That's going to be super, super attractive to a buyer. This next one, number 6, is clean financials. And what I mean by clean financials is kind of going back to that, desktop calendar system. Are you using QuickBooks or some sort of accounting system? Do you have a bookkeeper? Do you have an internal CPA? Or are you keeping spreadsheets, right? We've dealt with a lot of businesses. We've sold some liquor stores and things like that where they open up a box of a shoebox of receipts. Well, It's going to be hard for a buyer to come in and do a proper due diligence looking through a shoebox of receipts, right? So if you're wanting to sell, you're going to get more money if your financials look better and in a better system. And then probably the last one and the biggest one is, can we have a reasonable sales price and reasonable transition terms, right? So are your expectations as a seller realistic? Can you say, hey, yeah, I'll help you out for 30, 60, 90 days and transition into the business? A lot of buyers that are coming onto the market right now are first-time buyers. They are ex-CEOs, ex-executives, and things like that are looking to exit the rat race from COVID and run their own business, right? So will you help them get started? If you're willing to help someone get started, that makes your business more attractive, right? So those are probably, I know I kind of flew through those. And again, we will have a white paper article published on the website Monday for all the listeners to go get. But those value drivers are some of the things that can change your business from a 2 times multiple to a 5 or more multiple when you're looking to sell your business. So take care of the little things and you'll get more money.
And that's exactly why I wanted to spend some time on that, because it's such a key and important thing and an important factor to the business side of things, exactly what you just covered. And more importantly, if they do, we might have went through it quick because we're limited on time, but if they do want to reach out, that's why we give out, that's why you need to give them a call. So it's 512-537-3547. It's 512-537-3547. Like I said, their website is lionbusinessbrokers.com. It's lionbusinessbrokers.com. If you have any questions, reach out to them. They'd love to hear from you, and they'll be able to go into a lot more detail and in-depth with these things and really get you set up for the future for sure. I know things have been real crazy just in the market, selling market, whatever, even if it's houses or businesses. So I'm sure people are really curious of what you have to say in regards to this. When is the best time to sell someone's business if they have a personal business or whatever it might be?
Yeah, so this is always an interesting question. And besides the personal answers that a business owner has to ask themselves of, am I ready to sell, right? My honest response to this is, if you're thinking about selling your business, it's the right time to start the conversation, right? It's the right time to find out, well, what is my business worth and what steps should I be taking to do this? Mm-hmm. Because, and never to be the bearer of bad news, but and the industry is just riddled with this. I can't tell you how many business owners that we were talking to pre-COVID that said, next quarter, next year, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to list. COVID hit, businesses shut down, the market stopped, things like that. Here in Texas, we had the freeze. All of a sudden, your numbers dropped. So business sales are based on numbers. And so it's a tough game because you as a business owner, theoretically, you want to sell at the peak. But if you hit that peak and you start coming back down, your sales are going to come back down. So there's a lot of business owners that we talk to that go, well, 2 years ago I did this. Well, 5 years ago my numbers were this. It doesn't matter. Business sales go off your last year to a 3-year average of sales. And so buyers are looking at what is your business doing now. The good thing, though, is if you are considering selling your business, I would definitely say now is the time because this is a market unlike anything that we have seen in the last decade or more. We are short on inventory as an industry. Yeah. And so there are more buyers than sellers willing to come out there. And it's created a seller's market, which is, everyone kind of knows that's happening in real estate. That doesn't happen in our industry. It's almost always whoever has the cash gets to make a deal. We take this strategic approach of list high and negotiate. And I can tell you this, last year we had 2 transactions that went within $50,000 of our asking price, which is not standard when we're talking $1 million plus transactions, right? And so this, if you're thinking about selling, that's when you want to start the process. And, you don't want to be stuck in the hospitality industry, restaurants, things like that just got slammed out of nowhere. But to get back to that peak, you want to sell before you hit the peak of your business. Buyers still want to know that there's an upside and that they can step in and make more money off of your business. So if you're hitting goals, if you're trying to get to a peak, if you hit that peak, you've gone too far. So the ideal time to sell your business is right before you hit that peak. But just mentally, if you're thinking about it, if you've ever thought about it, you need to start the conversation, know where you're at, know the value of your business, and start taking those steps.
Yeah, that's why I was looking forward to talking to you today. I know in your world, in your business world right now, it's been crazy over the past couple of years. So I know you've probably been pretty busy in itself. Now, we got about 2 minutes before we wrap things up. So real quickly, I want to end with this. What is the most important thing business owners should be doing if they're considering selling their business, Josh?
I love hitting with this one, and I love answering this with perfect timing at the end right there. The most important thing you need to do, and it's the perfect time of year to do it, get your financials in order, right? The first things that buyers look at when they go to buy a business is they want to see the financials, right? I cannot stress this enough. Clean up your books, clean up your records. When you get into a due diligence period or just buyers even looking in journal, the first thing they say is, well, all right, well, what do the numbers look like? Well, what do they look like now, right? So, we're already coming to the end of January. So even if you've got your 2021 numbers wrapped up neat, you're off to your CPA, you're ready to go, you already need to be working on your Q1 numbers. So if you are really going to take the steps of selling your business or thinking about doing it, you really need to get your financials in order, cleaned up, records, everything as smooth as possible so that when that potential buyer comes in the door, they can say, here's some updated numbers. Here's what we're looking at doing.
All right, Josh. Well, we got to get out of here. Unfortunately, it's always a pleasure talking to you. One more time, guys, 512-537-3547. The website is lionbusinessbrokers.com. Until next time, my friend, we'll do it here soon, okay?
Sounds good. Look forward to chatting with you.
That's been another edition of Ask the Experts, guys. Until next time, we'll do it again, 10 to 12 every week. Have a good weekend.